Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Productions. Today, Bankrupt joined again by Jimmy and Fluff.
Sir.
What up, people?
And don't worry about the screen, it'll be fixed in like a few seconds. Today's matchup is Jimmy versus Fluff. Fluff is bringing on Toppo-Lock, and Jimmy's brought us SS4, it's Gogeta, however you want to call it. But these are amazing metal leaders, by the way, by our friends at TCG Metals. Go check them out. And guys, let's get into the match.
I think now it's at our locals, it's more so like who has the coolest metal leader instead of who brought the best deck. I think
kind of, yeah.
A lot of people now have metal leaders at our shop.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. TCG Metals, give us a promo code or something, please. I'm gonna go broke buying these damn metal leaders.
Yeah.
They're also doing cases now, by the way. You haven't seen those.
Yeah, I've noticed. I sure as hell noticed. My wallet has too.
But so I don't really know how this match is going to go. I haven't actually played Toppo-Lock versus SS4 Gogeta. Theoretically, Toppo-Lock has a decent stratagem against this deck, kind of slowing down what all it's able to do, making the deck at least half as effective throughout most of the game. And that's kind of my goal moving forward through this, is to just rely on that half effectiveness from SS4 and then just capitalize moving forward.
Toppo-Lock just has a lot of built-in counters to SS4 Gogeta. You're going to be running the Vegeta Unison the Fury because it's just the best option for the deck. And its -1 stops me from attacking with battle cards greater than my total energy, so that is most of my deck. And then the Toppo-Lock part of Toppo-Lock, once you play a battle card, you cannot play another battle card for the turn. That really hurts because one of Gogeta's strengths is, slamming one of the cost-reducted Saiyans off of a skill, comboing it, rivaling another one, and then so on and so forth. So that portion of the deck, of my deck, is just kind of dead. And I'm more so relying on being able to play cards on your turn as well as my turn, which does get around that, but it's significantly slower and a lot less pressure than if I was able to just play unhindered.
Yeah.
And
I did know that I was going to have to... Or go on, Bancroft, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, you going first helps you out a lot in trying to establish something, but once you got to this point, it gets tricky, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this dispo is fantastic. I knew the card existed, but I really undervalued the card when I initially read it.
Yeah, this dispo puts in a ton of work over the course of this match.
Yeah. And I think one of the biggest things with it is just that it protects your Unison. That I really couldn't pressure the dispo in any meaningful way, other than just turning my arrivals sideways into it. But then that's taking pressure off of your leader, which is where I'm just trying to sneak in and kill you. That was my strategy this entire time. I did think I was going to have to rely on some of the tech options as well as my Unison in this game. The Unison was gonna play a big role, but you spoilers, you did a very good job of keeping the Unison in check, and maybe I underestimated your hatred towards this Unison by me charging one and then dodging one off of the top 3 search. I was really hoping that you wouldn't, and I could just glide on this Unison, even though I was valuing it a lot more than I normally do in a regular game.
Unisons against Toppo-Lock are usually pretty good. And with where your hand is standing, I don't want you generating additional hand advantage. So I'm going to put these swings into the Unison as often as I'm able to, just trying to knock these Unisons out without you generating additional hand advantage while I'm building up my hand advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the thought going forward in that.
I will also add, like, going towards Unison in this situation as well means Jimmy will have to spend energy to play the 1-drops. But then that will lock him out of the whole engine then because of Toppo-Lock.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it stops me from getting a combo step on my turn, allowing me to arrival my my Goku and Vegetas. So while I was really valuing having the Unison on board, it did kind of bite me there, even though it did keep you off of my life. And while your board does not have a lot of decent keyword skills, that's still a scary board that I really do not want to deal with.
Yeah, these dispos are so synergistic with that Vegeta. And I think here I play the Vegeta and I'm like, no, that's kind of stupid to play it there. I want to be able to protect myself against something coming in. I know you're running the Vegeta Secret Rare. That's really scary. You have a ton of other cards that could potentially be scary. I'm not worried about the 8-drop because you boarded the Unison. And I know you're feeling towards the 8-drop. You don't value it as much as other players might.
Well, also I'm under Unison of Fury.
Which he can't sack, yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to attack with either of those. And I did open the
Vegito.
The Vegito Secret Rare. I did open that. This was a big power. I was a little shook by this power.
Yeah, you were like, I'm pretty sure it's battle cards and leaders. So I was like, no, it's battle cards and unisons. So stopping that Unison from being able to get a swing in is really nice. I don't want my life to go below 3 because I know that I'm going to be able to stick and keep you under Unison of Fury, but I'm really worried about other things that your deck can do extremely well. So I'm trying to keep my life preserved as well as possible. And my goal is to start wearing down your Unison as well as to start taking chunks out of your hand. Because even though you've been slowed down, your hand is still really threatening to me.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, third dispo.
So Jimmy's not getting into that Unison by swings.
Yeah. I was already not touching it by the 1 dispo on the board, much less 3. Now, after you did clear my Unison and you did proc the effect of the Vegeta Unison to tap the dispo, and if you don't know, dispo can blow up a Fiberless in rest mode. I felt really safe boarding a card at this point, and also you were attacking my leader, so I did get a combo step. But I was able to board a card and not worry about you being able to tap it down and then just +1 or activate main on your Unison of Fury to pop the card and then make it, null and void.
Absolutely.
I was able to get into the crown here, which was huge.
Yeah, I kind of knew that I was going to have to bait this crown. I just couldn't spend my energy doing anything else. And I have many targets in my hand that you're able to hit. Mm-hmm. You do decide to get rid of the Toppo, which is a nice power play. Toppo can be a threat at later stages of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting this game to go a fair shot longer than most other games.
I felt fine leaving the riposte. Like, you were going to negate with it at some point. And I have the Broly that I can tap and I can combo with Mono Red Saiyans in rest mode. So while it did eat my double strike attack, I felt that it was a lot smarter to get the Toppo, the power play Toppo, out of your hand when I knew that you were going to board that Mecha Frieza and also get that out of your hand. So in a way, I kind of got a 2-for-1, even though I lost 1 attack.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping to see a Clan of Terror here so I could get a peek at your hand, see what you're working with, and force you to play out like either your secret rare or something, and then I can deal with it accordingly with the cards in my hand. But I did not have the Clan of Terror in hand to utilize off of this Frieza.
Mhm.
And you took the Toppo. Toppo would have probably been my play of choice this turn.
Mhm.
So I don't have a lot of fantastic things to actually play. In there, you King Vegeta's Imposing Presence, which is a ton of pressure off of you.
Mhm.
So instead of swinging with 20Ks, I'm swinging with 15Ks. You only have to combo one additional instead of two additional. It's just such a perfect slot in for this SS4 deck.
Oh yeah.
So here you do the -4, right?
Yeah. Or -3.
Yeah.
So I tapped down one of his energies, and I'm going to get 2 swings in with this. I'm going to put a Spirit Fist on it because I know I want to swing again, and I want that to still be around 20K when I swing.
And Spirit Fist sticks for the turn, if correct, right?
It is for the turn, correct.
Mhm.
I've always considered that Spirit Fist to be a flex spot, but the number of matches that I've won because I was able to Spirit Fist on a Unison, it's just crazy.
The amount of times that I've seen you play that card and your opponent goes, "What does that card do?" and they sit and read it like 5 times is astonishing.
Yeah.
A card was huge there, and I was so excited when I seen you -3 instead of minusing 1, and then when you tap the energy. When you tap the 3 energy, I was like, oh, he's going to go into Gohan Unison. And he's going to try to pressure me on there. And this Boo was a nice little jump scare, but I did have the Gohan to
neg it out. Or to neg it down to a
to a non-threat. But I was sitting there like, oh, like, please tap 3, go into Gohan. And you go into another fucking Vegeta. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm still under Floodgate because my big goal was I was just going to slam the secret rare and just dump a hand. Like I was going to get in there and I was just going to try to finish the game.
I would say we know Fluff has at least one Frieza Reinforcement. Oh wow, okay. Just keep playing more and more cards because you changed Unisons.
Because I changed Unison.
That's right. Yeah, forgot about that.
Like I said, my goal this turn was to eat at Jimmy's hand.
Yeah. What was I say real quick? Even though you're tapped out, you do have Vegeta on board. You do have 2 dispos to protect it. You did do the +1 effect, so Jimmy can't swing anything in this case higher than 6.
The -1, yeah.
-1. That's right. Yeah, the activate main what gives it an extra marker. So you do feel a bit protected here. I haven't seen this guy in a while.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cards in red. The card is crazy when it goes off. And unfortunately, you did have the release from Evil, so I missed out on most of its effects. I was really hoping that you would feel the need to maybe do another Frieza Army Reinforcement and just let me kill you, but you know, I guess you can be smart and use that. But
I leave myself in a really precarious position because I have to take that damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down to 1 life versus your 4 life. I know that I have a pretty big turn coming up that's going to have a lot of potential. I've got a lot on the field that I can swing with, that I can pressure with. That Piccolo has barrier, which is fucking crazy. So I'm not going to be able to get rid of it by using the Dispo. But I'm not so much worried about that card, and I'm hoping that I can just close out the game this turn. And I'm so focused on getting your hand size down that I forget something really integral about this deck in particular. And we'll go over that when we get there.
Yeah. I felt decently safe at this point, even only with only 2 energy up and this board, because I'm quite familiar with your lineup of boss monsters. And one of them is already on the board, and we had discussed this list before, and I think I remember you saying you only run that boo at like a 1 of. So
2 of.
2 of, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know that 1 is on board now, so I can kind of gauge what my threats are instead of having to worry about, oh, what does he have in hand. So I did still feel fairly safe, even in the situation that I'm currently in.
Yeah, for sure. It's so hard to break through the hand that you have. It's just so incredibly difficult to get through SS4's resources, which to me really illustrates the biggest problem with this deck as far as the health of the game is why play any other red deck when you, because think about how much you've been limited over the course of this match and you still have a really healthy hand moving forward.
Mm-hmm. I was still worried about cooler counter at this stage too. You do have the energy up for it, and you can go for the big double strike swing. I tried to bait it with the after image, and then when you didn't do it there, I had to just take the risk and say, I'm gonna testing the op and hope that you don't cooler counter what essentially is my double negate. And this was scary watching you combo up. I did have the super combo in hand. I did have a little bit of combo power, but seeing that, I knew there was just only one option.
Yeah, and that's what I forgot about. I forgot this leader awakens for free. And if I had just held that Vegeta in my hand and kept my 2 energy up, I would have survived your next turn. So if I hadn't have gone so aggressively on that unison swing, I would have been able to survive.
I do have 2 quick questions before we wrap this up. So you if Jimmy would have played a secret rare, would that not have proc the Sin to restand itself? And you would have had a blocker?
I would have had the blocker. I would have had the Vegeta in hand. And I would have had 2 energy for a Frieza army reinforcement. But I had comboed out my hand, and I wouldn't have had enough to stop all of his attacks.
Gotcha. Okay. I just was curious about that. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Keep in mind those buttons down below. Feel free to click them there for a reason. And thanks for tuning in.